member from Stormont, Dundas, South Glengarry.
Thank you, Speaker. To the Premier. Recently, the Minister of Energy put a stop to the LRP2 projects due to the power not being needed in the province. Speaker, there is also no need for power from the Nation Rise wind project in my riding either. A project which scored nothing but zeros on all the rated criteria and should not have been imposed on the unwilling host of North Stormont. Speaker, the Premier made an attempt to apologize for a mistake on the energy file, but keeps implementing her failed policies, making her policies ring hollow. Will North Stormont see some substance in the Premier's apologies and have the Nation Rise wind project cancelled?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm very pleased to once again rise and speak to the importance of renewable energy in this province, Mr. Speaker. We've invested as a government to ensure that we can eliminate coal. We haven't had a smog day in this province, Mr. Speaker, since 2014. And you know what, Mr. Speaker? That's because of the fact that we've had to invest heavily in renewable energy, Mr. Speaker, to rebuild a system that they left in tatters. Now, I understand, Mr. Speakers, when we're looking at renewable energy and wind around the province, Mr. Speaker, there are concerns coming forward from the community, and I understand, Mr. Speaker, that the ISO is the entity that looks after those contracts, Mr. Speaker. And I know they get all in a huff, Mr. Speaker, on that side when you talk about energy, because they are the pro-coal party, Mr. Speaker. They're the ones that want to go back to coal. We on this side will continue to work with communities, we'll continue to work with the ISO to find solutions to continue to have a clean, green, and reliable system, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, back to the Premier. The Nation Rise wind project had no municipal council support resolution, no municipal agreement with all project communities, no abutting landowner support, and no First Nations agreement. A complete and utter failure in the rating criteria score, yet it was approved. North Stormont is an unwilling host, as thousands of letters that I'll soon hand over to the Premier will demonstrate. The LRPT1 projects are yet to break ground, and there's still time to cancel those. Those are the hosts that want nothing to do with them. Will the Premier listen to Ontarians as she committed and show some integrity and cancel the Nation Rise wind project? And I'm going to need 2 pages to pass these off.
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The LRP1 process really tried to strike the right balance between early community engagement and achieving value for ratepayers by putting an emphasis on cost, Mr. Speaker. And I do have to say that the MPP from Glengarry Prescott Russell has been a very tire advocate on behalf of the constituents that we met with today, Mr. Speaker, to try and find solutions, Mr. Speaker. That's what we're doing on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker, is trying to find solutions. Because the one thing that the MPP from across the way didn't talk about, Mr. Speaker, is that even when a contract is offered, the process is not over, Mr. Speaker. Maybe he should learn about the process and actually do some investigating with the ISO. Because project developers must obtain all required licenses and approvals, Mr. Speaker, such as the renewable energy approval or an environmental assessments before they can start construction on the projects, Mr. Speaker. The environmental improvement process includes additional community engagement requirements and provide further opportunities for communities. That's something that this member knows and is working with these groups, Mr. Speaker, to make that happen. Thank you very much.